Okay, welcome to the second match of the day. We have 5th Jaguar Dragoons versus GNX. GNX having qualified on Thursday evening as the last chance qualifier, let's say. There was two teams that were banned with ELO in the end of the comp queue. So we had a play-in best-of-1 match, and GNX ended up winning it and claiming the bottom seed for um, the top 12 here of Championship Series 2023. As a reward, they get to go against the 5th Jaguar Dragoons in the first round. 5th Jaguar Dragoons failed to win their invitational match, and so they had to qualify through the comp queue, which they did pretty decisively, claiming first place. So we'll see how this goes here. Both of these teams are rather
Well, they
solid.
didn't just get no. They got beat by KDCM and knocked out into the comp queue.
Yes, they did. Yes, in the
Gotta rub that
invitational,
in.
they got kicked out there. Yep.
Oh,
It
that
was
was an
considered an
upset,
upset.
wasn't it? Yes, that was a big
Yeah.
upset. It was so nice to see. You don't usually see the guys wearing the crown get their legs kicked out from underneath of them.
Yeah, so we got the map ban or map select coming up here as this is best of 5, so all 5 maps could see play.
Yes. Also, we are here with our the expert count or expert panel who will chime in and give their expert opinions between drops. So hopefully, you know, everyone enjoys that format. We got Ghosty here from EQ. We got All Deuce from Gussie, representing the Euros, East Euros. And then we got Jay, who's Jay. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, we've got the map select started here.
Oh, all right. So what, the first was Vitric.
Okay, so first map is going to be Vitric Station, 5th Jaguar Dragoon selecting that map.
The last match that we just watched also had Vitric for the first one.
So just waiting here for Ghost of Nox. Ghost of Nox has selected Mining Collective as the second map.
And then third is Hibernal. What are we getting for four? Crimson Straight, and then Polar is the decider.
Okay, Crimson Straight. Okay, well, we'll see at least one different map here. Polar Highlands being an unpopular map for these teams so far. There's a couple different strats that can be played on that, so we'll see if that changes as the
Haters.
tournament goes on.
Haters. I like Polar. I'm in the minority. I'm completely okay with that, but I enjoy the map. I don't play much on the outside of the map because it reminds me of old Polar. Bunch of open ground and like you don't want to get learned out there, out in the wasteland.
So we've got okay, team 1 for the first drop on Vitric Station is going to be the 5th Jaguar Dragoons.
Yes. Fight JDX. Is that a Euro team? I believe we start on.
Map 2 Mining Collective, it's going to be GNX on team 1.
Well, according to the thing, they're both considered NA teams. So yeah, I guess we just play on NA the whole time.
GNX is team 2 for Hibernal. Or sorry, GNX team 1 for Hibernal. Crimson Straight. 5th Jaguar Dragoons back to team 1. And then if we get to Polar Highlands, it will be GNX playing on Team 1. So there's going to be a lot of team switching here. I'll need to remember to switch the overlay every time as well.
Yeah, back and forth, back and forth.
So Team 1 for Vitric Station is going to be 5th Jaguar Dragoons. So just going to find the map here.
I would still like to point out they are still 11 pilots.
Sounds like fair odds, honestly.
Oh. Well, let's see who's getting kicked out. Or, who knows? Maybe they'll go, they drop with 9 pilots or something.
Yeah, let's throw up the map strat here for experts if they want to chime in on that. Now that we know the maps, the first map is going to be Vitric Station.
All we could hope is that one team sends it.
You mean if we see another Mario push?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think both of these teams are going to play it relatively passive, honestly. I would expect 5GDX to do the default, stay back towards like here, and then move up later if GNX also stays back. So play somewhat mid-range mechs. And I'd see GNX just DACA mechs, honestly.
DACA, an Annihilator.
Bring the AC5 Mauler in or something. And like fight with like laser moment lights throughout the center area.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how the meta of the map evolved, because I remember earlier in the year, what you did is just the 3-line hold, or you just stack everyone a horizontal line, make sure your Crusaders can see down to Theta. But I think this is exactly what you're saying. It's just going to be a shootout. And I also think GNX are going to take the higher DPS, lower precision mechs, and so we'll see if they correctly figure out when to advance.
Get aggressive and push, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of these teams just fully surprises us and runs a full push.
5JDX
There's nothing better. There's nothing better than seeing 5JDX push, because it's like, oh my god. It just doesn't. It happens so infrequently. It's such a little treat.
What I'm interested to see is if teams are going to be playing up in this Charlie 3, Bravo 3, Charlie 4, Bravo 4 area on the side flank. If they send someone up there early to try and do similar things to what we just watched Casterian's Guards do against KDCM Saturday Night Special. Shadowcat being a very powerful, popular mech. The stationary receive days of old, I think, are kind of over. And same with both teams just kind of pushing up toward, trade with the high mounts at the ramps. We'll see how they shake it up. I've seen different things in the past that I haven't seen so far in recent meta. I don't know if it's a meta shift or if it's just something that needs to be pulled out again. But there used to be times where mechs were put into these corner spots instead of going up on the backline ridge receive locations.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen those 4 green circles played in quite some time, with teams just electing to stay more close together up on top. The advantage of having a mech on the side is that against a push, you're spreading the push further. They have to run to more locations as to if they just jump up, as we've been seeing, they kind of get a very close fight. No distance traveled between the different mechs they're trying to kill. But we'll see how it plays out if anyone cracks out these old locations that I haven't seen in months at this point.
Abens pulled one against us in the last Invitationals match.
This is
foot. Invitationals, I think I saw it a couple times, but I don't think I remember seeing it in the seeding rounds though.
In the last seeding round, Abens played it against us.
I might not have caught that match, or perhaps I just don't recall it.
I think if teams are playing static, both this and like this area will be really important and contested by the lights.
Yeah.
Because if you manage to take control of one of those, you manage to move up, you can get really annoying skirmishes into the big mechs of the other team. With something like a laser vomit Shadowcat, for example, to bring the conversation back to Mock or Alley.
Yeah, Shadowcat's so powerful here. I'd expect both teams to bring it. This is a very good map for the Shadowcat.
That's the name for it now, just to be clear.
Mocha Alley. Yeah, we'll have to try to remember that going forward. Just waiting for the second team to ready up here. Again, for anyone joining us, it's 5th Jaguar Dragoons versus Ghosts of Nox. This is a first seed versus 12th seed match. It's a 5v5 conquest, best of 5 being played today, and the format is 480 tons maximum for the drop deck for both teams, and they are limited to 3 mechs of a weight class, so you can have 3 lights but not 4 lights, and you're also limited to 1 per chassis, so you can have 1 Shadowcat. You can't bring 2 Shadowcats, even if they're different variants. You can't bring a Shadowcat Prime and a Shadowcat A. You can only have the 1 Shadowcat. Both teams are now locked in. I'm going to be switching over to the match screen, and we'll get this going.
All right, sounds good. Now, I don't know if it got pointed out yet. GNX is 12th seed because they had a tiebreaker, sudden death match against Esrot a couple days ago? 2 days ago now?
Yeah, on Thursday evening.
Yeah. And, they managed to take out Esrot, hold a firing line, and receive the Esrot's push. So, we already discussed that the odds of a 5JDX push are low, but we have seen GNX be able to receive a push very well. So, if there's going to be a map, it'd be this one.
Yeah, waiting for the teams to show up. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at the 5th Jaguar Dragoons side here in the blue as they are Team 1. So I'm going to try to get these builds real quick. If the fight gets underway fast, we might miss some. Marauder 2C, Laser Vomit, 2 large poles, 5 ERME. Crusader, what is the build on the Crusader? Heavy PPC, small laser. So mid-range trade there. Gargoyle is Brawl though. Full red lasers on the Gargoyle. Nightstar with 4 AC5, 1 ERPPC. Heavily quirked on those autocannons. We have a red laser Black Lantern. A Kit Fox with SRM 6s, 4 of those, and 2 SRM 2s. So a Viper substitute, perhaps. Phoenix Hawk with 7 small pulse, and a Mislinks with machine gun small pulse. So that looks mostly Brawl to me with some mid-range. Maybe they'll try to receive with that. The Heavy PPC Crusader is interesting pick.
Now,
I was looking at Ghosts of Nox there.
I was waiting for. I was going to let you finish and then chime in that you had the teams backwards. Yeah, that's Ghosts of Nox. Very kind of pushy. 5JDX. We got Jiffy and a Mad Cat. Looks like a dock of some kind. AC5's ER Peeps. Marauder 2C is large pulse and heavy large. Crusader already doing some trading with binaries. Dario and the Misleaks is down low on the left. Cougar and the Viper is down low on the right. Now, he just took a pot shot by Metal Fortress in his lantern, but that was a beautiful jump jet. Got up there perfectly. Well done.
Yeah, so the Annihilator here, that's dedicated receive, does not have the speed to push. Light Goss,
here it goes. Gargoyle just immediately dies. Wow. All right, Phoenix Hawk is getting in there. Mislinks is doing some
jump
work.
Up's not coordinated. Mislinks is in there early before the Kit Fox. Mislinks is taking a fair bit of damage. Nothing open yet. Phoenix Hawk has gotten behind the Annihilator. Annihilator's having to turn here, being heavily harassed. Viper's coming over to try and bail them out. First, Met's down on both sides. Damage percentage is looking better for 5th Jaguar Dragoons. Annihilator's down. Now, how are the legs looking? That is the question here. That Crusader's still moving around from Mangoba on Ghost of Nox. Secondary push coming in now. Phoenix Hawk leading the charge and taking heavy damage. That's both legs are open on that Phoenix Hawk. Kit Fox can't get up.
They needed to wait for this Lantern in the Crusader before they did this jump. What could have been a 4v4 was a 2v4 and then another 2v4.
the jump just it was not smooth. They perhaps need to put a little bit more work practicing that jump up. Make sure all of their mechs can easily make it. All of their pilots are familiar with it. It looks easy to do, but it's not. So this has definitely gone the way of the Fish Jaguar Dragoons. They have some heavily wounded mechs here, just going to get those caps though. And there it is. Urban Mech is almost lagged.
That Mad Cat.
Mistlink's almost cored from the rear, but we're
There's
seeing a lot of decent percentages still.
yeah, there's maybe 100 HP left in the legs of the Mad Cat. I just took a look at their Gargoyle, GNX's Gargoyle. He got Giga Drilled CT by the JGX's firing line. As you pointed out, the coordination with the lights jumping up, Mistlinks got up there first, and then it was a couple seconds later the Phoenix Hawk joined in, and then I think it was all if the lights did the jump right away, right before the bigs pushed across.
Yep.
The bigs could have got a lot closer. It started outputting their damage before JGX.
Yeah, it's something where you need to coordinate. So all of the mechs are jumping up simultaneously with the push from the bigs hitting at the same time. I'm going to take a look at the damage real quick here. Mad Cat Mark II from Jiffy, 800 damage. Marauder from Mount Geiso, 500 is usually enough to be top damage. Not this time around. Athena and the Kid Fox did manage to put out almost 500 damage there for GNX, leading the way on the damage side of things, but Gargoyle's got a mere 30 damage. The Black Lanter's got under 100 damage as well. The push just did not land the way that it was it hoped to be. I'm going to throw up the map strat here for anyone who wants to talk about that while I set the lobby up.
Yeah, you do that, and I'll get the expert panel to switch over to the map room. Ghosty, Jay, Deuce, take it away.
Yes. Yeah, so GNX pushed. They did it. When they pushed, everyone went to the D2 side of Team 1's platform. And 5JDX, understanding like, all right, that Annihilator, just consider him dead, right? Or other mech there, consider them dead. Instead of pushing through, let's just say, the middle channel here or trying to go around and fight them, they put a lid on the push. So GNX came in right down the red line, and 5JDX immediately sealing that spot up. It's the scene from, Bronx Tale where they get the bikers in the bar and they say, now you can't leave. Like, you came in, you did it, but that's where it ended. They had, like, a great, 6-mech concave sitting waiting for them on the way back, except for, I think it was like Cougar was off somewhere. Either way, it was 5JDX had what could really be considered a perfect response to the brawl push. And over the top on Vitric is so risky. What happened with the Gargoyle is that's what happens. You are picking one mech to go home early.
That's so true. That's so true. Oh, I watched DPS try it multiple times on Vitric, the comp queue, and I watched that happen to them. Whoever goes over first, right, dies really fast. Maybe the second guy can tank 800 damage before he dies, but that first guy gets drilled. Because that whole firing line is looking at one target because there's nothing else up there to shoot at. Go ahead, Ghosty.
Yeah, I think the other big issue is that just GNX didn't stall with their assaults. There was a Night Star just lagging behind for what felt like 30 seconds. And the Gargoyle sending it out in front, being basically alone. I think if they had all their assaults crest the middle at the same time, and then either slightly before that jump up their lights or jump their lights up slightly later, they would have had a chance. But like being one or two mechs down just because they're not fast enough to be there, kind of also seals the deal.
We're going on to Mining Collective as a second map here. I'm going to pop that up on the map strat.
All right, guys. What do you think is going to happen here? What are these two teams going to do? Now, I do know GNX. I believe that was they did a lot of Pop-Tarty stuff on this map. Classic like Summoners, Crusaders, anything with ER peeps and jump jets, and they stayed mobile when we fought them in the queue. But I don't know if they're going to be doing the same strat or not going forward.
So I guess one thing to point out, Mining Collective, it's all about the high ground. So kind of like Vitric, but maybe even I wouldn't say more so, but the maps are a fair bit different. But it's all about that high ground where you want to be taking, positions like the cakes or some of these other elevated smokestacks and
Don't
so
forget the
on.
Paps. Echo 4.
Yeah, there's a number of different positions
Yeah.
up. All of them are high ground. You definitely want jump jets on this map. If you're brawling, you're going to be facing mechs that have jump jets and have gotten into an elevated position. If you're doing a trade or receive, like these are excellent trade positions. And this map is heavily favored toward Theta for Team 2. The way that the center is designed, there's a wall blocking shots in on Theta from the Team 1 side, whereas the Team 2 side has openings that they can use range mechs to try and cover Theta from. You can even see like a backline ridge position taken by Team 2 in the darkness. Unlikely, but possible because you have that Overwatch on Theta. So in the comp queue, the preliminary stats were posted about a week or two ago in terms of Team 1 versus Team 2. And it was something like 56% of the time Team 2 won versus 44% of the time for Team 1. So definitely a Team 2 favored map. And Team 2 in this case is going to be 5th Jaguar Dragoons. So they've got their side pick here.
I mean, I've already drawn in what I think 5GX is going to do mech-wise. Just the default 1 mech on smokestacks, 1 mech on sails. Down there, yeah.
Yeah, and then
2
mechs
here,
challenging
1 mech
the
here.
lights.
Okay, so we all know what everyone calls this in game. Let's be real.
That's Citadel.
Yeah. Wait, Citadel? I've heard everyone call
That's what Polycat calls it, alright? And
yeah, so there's a high ground
Angel.
position here, Echo 4. It's kind of the key to the map as it is, and very important for both teams to either send brawlers up there to challenge range elements or secure it for themselves with range elements and try to trade out from there, as it does cover Theta quite well. And the problem with the Delta 4 ramps is that it's low ground, so a mech can just walk up behind you and shoot you in the back if you're trying to trade from there, whereas in the Echo 4 it's a much higher elevated terrain. You can't get a ground bound brawler just shooting your back.
that, and it's of course just call it Paps, Jay. Just call it Paps. It's like a 50s slang for what we all call it. One nice thing about Echo 4 is especially when teams start trading on the lines here, taking Echo 4 gives you the ability to start applying crossfire pressure to like D3 or like D5. If you got traders here and you can get on this side here, these guys up here can deny the back cover, and then you can, when they jump up in between, here's a good shot place for it. But as you pointed out, this is also a decent trade spot, but you can get back shot pretty easily, especially if there's like a cap lights. That's one thing I've noticed on this map over the years is cap strategies. If you can get a mech to run around and do cap strat, you can apply a lot of pressure, especially to a team who is doing a very good job holding their half of the map, whichever half them.
All right, teams are ready to go.
Oh,
so we're going to switch over to the match screen and count it down. So this is drop 2. It's a best of 5. So there's a number of maps possible to come here after this one, but we're kicking things off. Mining Collective, 5v5 Conquest, 480 tons for each team, and we're playing that 8v8. So see what the teams bring here, whether they decide to brawl or just sit back and trade for the full duration. I'm guessing there's going to be at least, a little bit of brawl going on here. Brawl's relatively strong. Everybody loves to see it. Well, almost everyone.
Okay, well, yeah. Almost everyone. Most people do because it gets super exciting super fast and then it ends very fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at the Team 2 side here. That would be the 5th Jaguar Dragoons in the red. I've got it correct this time. So we've got a Summoner and a Mistlings going at the far spawn. Mistlings going to be taking the cap, then rallying up. Machine guns, and heavy meats on that Mistling, so a little bit more range there. ERPC on the Summoner with red laser backup. They have brought a direwolf here. Grolsch is playing Goss Ear Large, taking a high ground range position, smokestacks. Is that a Hatchet Man? It's a Hatchet Man. Snubnose PPC small laser. Did not expect to see a Hatchet Man. And we've got a Firestarter A with light PPC, so again, skirmish. Crusader with binary laser, small laser backup. That is 3 ER PPC on the Executioner, so dedicated range trade there. Pop-Tart taking a high ground position, and then the Shadowcat is running heavy, large, and light machine gun, so standard mid-range vomit build.
I'm going to point out Stickofish and his Grasshopper has already gotten at least one shot off on the on Grolsch and his Direwolf. Managed to nail him as Grolsch was still getting up into cover.
So it is dedicated trade here as well from GNX. We've got Goss Ear Large on the Mad Cat, Hag 30 Ear Large in the Blood Asp. The Grasshopper is triple ER PPC, so definitely a hot range trading build. Crusader heavy PPC doing skirmishing around Theta, pop-tarting there. Then we've got a Light Pack, which is a Shadowcat with mid-range laser vomit machine gun backup. Vulcan is Snubnose PPC, so also Pop-Tart. Phoenix Hawk is Snubnose PPC as well. And they're contesting here for the high ground. Now, this Firestar is the last one to check, and that is a medium pulse small laser. A little bit more brawl on that one.
I'm going to say 5JDX's play is pretty aggressive. They kind of pushed their traders all to that to the PAPs here. Sit it out, whatever you want to call it, just not the T word. Dario and his mislinks is off in the back.
Yeah. Went for a back cap, got the decap, but got driven out.
Now, Weapon Master here
Didn't take significant damage, though. The summoner's playing danger close.
Yes, he has that Crusader. There's 2 mechs across the way that can shoot him. Yeah, and he's just giving up free damage at this point. Monk, he's trading his Executioner.
Weapon Master X could get dove here. I mean, Monk is turning to back them up, but
Monk is his
mislinks in the vicinity as well.
Pretty weak.
So the summoner is getting out, but there was an opportunity there, I feel, where it could have been dove. But the intel likely was not there for Ghost of Nox at the time.
Weapon Master,
now, Fifth Jaguar
bleeding armor. He is cored in the side torso and CT.
Bacon Lord's caught here. Is anyone going to dive them or not? They have very little support in their vicinity. That Hatchaman looks like it's got the Firestarter coming in to back them up and is getting out. 5JDX is stacking up, looking to push for this high ground in the Echo 4 grid.
Yeah, but they needed to do it. I think they needed to do it yesterday. At this point, they're bleeding so much armor.
Armor's looking relatively even between both sides. I mean, that Direwolf in the back is still completely fresh, and nobody's contesting them yet. Yeah, so they're not anywhere near getting dove. Crusader from Mangoba down to 35%. I imagine there's stuff falling off of that mech. One touch center torso, both legs are open. That Crusader is effectively out of the fight. Could get a surprise shot on someone, though. Bacon Lord running through kind of the open, taking a lot of damage here, down to 60%. Looks like an arm has been lost off of that mech, but no weapons look missing from what I can see. So this push is kind of stalled out. 5JDX has no reason to push at the moment. They are grabbing cap control right now. There's an attempt to flip Theta from James Bombed in that Firestarter down to 42%. I imagine that mech might be lagged. It looks like it's not moving quite correctly.
Resource point Theta is ours.
Just extensive trading going on right now. Everyone's so close to dying, it's hard to tell what components are open. First death goes down. Firestarter over on Theta from James Bomb does get taken out. And again, looks like 5JDX is just a little bit better on the trades, and they are better on the caps. Theta has no one currently getting ticks on it. GNX had a second mech go down. A lot of Pop-Tart skirmishing going on right now, and there's not much health remaining to make a push. Grasshopper's making a move here. Direwolf has also moved up. There's going to be a little bit of a surprise here. Crusader goes down. That was a one-touch in the center torso earlier. Grasshopper 32% gets side torsoed. And the Blood Asp is both side torsos are open, getting rushed by Cougart.
Now Brower had a 1v1 with Metal Fortress over here in the back. But Dario is now in this fight. Metal Fortress goes down. I'm pretty sure this Phoenix Hawk is going to go down before this Mislinks does.
Yeah, Brower 62%. That Shadowcat still moving around. Has an open leg, but other than that is looking relatively healthy. Whereas that Phoenix Hawk is going to have an Inner Sphere extra light engine. Goes down side torso. And last one up is that Mad Cat getting rushed by everyone, probably already missing. Yeah, the mech's halved and goes down. So the percentages are really low over on the 5th Jaguar Dragoons, but in the end, they managed to focus fire and get a little bit more accuracy in their shots, pulling out ahead in that Pop-Tart skirmish that we were seeing. Very heavy action there, but not really a full dedicated, full committed brawl. Just more of a continuous skirmishing along dedicated lines.
I feel there was a moment where 5JDX was not in a good position, and GNX had a huge advantage that they didn't capitalize on. Weapon Master and Monk were bleeding themselves really hard. They ate a lot of bad trades, and Weapon Master, as we saw, was cored out. And I think when they had their 3 lights, that I would have got a little more aggressive, tried to pick Weapon Master before he jumped back down, and then maybe even tried to backstab Monk before or even just fought him when he was in the fight. He was weak enough in armor that they could have, those 3 lights there, I think it was Metal Fortress, James, and someone else, or I think it was Akita or something. They could have gotten 2 free picks and then flipped the whole game in their favor, and then snowballed from there. But that's just what I saw, and I have an overhead, so
Yeah, it's hard to know if they had the intel or not, but there was maybe an opportunity there, and it would have been interesting to see. I don't know if it would have worked out or not. That's a lot of red lasers there on both the summoner and the executioner, and the Mistlinks was coming back, would have been able to join that fight, so it would have been probably a 3v3, maybe a 4v3, depending how fast the kills start chaining. It may or may not have worked out.
GNX had 2 ranged traders with Overwatch into that fight if they took it. I think it would have been a 5-on-3 or 5-on-4 at best.
All right. I've got the map room up right now for mining if you want to talk about that for a little bit, and then you can switch to Hibernal afterwards, as that is in the next map.
Experts of the lake, please tell us your wisdom.
We saw basically what we predicted. Both teams playing mechs up on these trading spots and then trying to take control of this Echo 4 high ground. And I think it ended up just coming down to the skirmishes, and 5JDX, even though they bled more, rotating out a lot better, and also bringing better mechs for it. Things like the Mistlinks with 2 heavy mediums, 2 ER smalls, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
And the Shadowcat are just better than mechs like the Vulcan and the Phoenix Hawk with their 2 snubs at skirmishing. And if you're gonna let those trade for a while, the Clan Days Moment mechs are just gonna win.
It was also 5JDX did a really good job of having people expose at the same time. So yeah, Monk and Weapon, they'd both take a lot of damage, but they're both focusing the same target. Because the best example is when you look at GNX's Crusader in those trades. Sure, Monk and Weapon were being shot by 3 different people at times, but they were really laser focused, 1 mech at a time. And Weapon had a shot earlier when we were saying like, oh, this is the point where when Therax and Level were saying that this is the point where they should push Weapon. That was a Summoner G, so Weapon had backups, and he got a full volley on the CT of that Shadowcat, and I think that might have deterred the push. Real hard, because that Shadowcat thought it was getting up there for free, and it got put down almost.
And it's also the reason why one of the main reasons 5JDX has been one of the top teams in the past years. They're just really, really good at not letting you shoot them when they're almost dead.
That's true.
Weapon can be orange structure CT there for half the match, but if every time when he's going to shoot you, you're first going to see an executioner, you're going to shoot the executioner. And if you don't, then Weapon's just not going to peek you because the executioner already won the trade. So
yeah, and most of this 5JDX team already playing together for 2+ years. It is it shows, it really shows. This GNX lineup has 1.5 people that are that's 1.5 people that they had 2 years ago.
I think there was one time I saw like the fire started from GNX, one of their light mechs peak, and then right after it peaked, the Crusader popped up and shot as well on a one-touch CT, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is for the very top teams, you're gonna end up seeing 8 people at like 30% red everywhere, because they all spend their armor, and as soon as like right before they die, they're gonna start not taking damage anymore.
Well, it looks like 5JDX was spooked because they put 11 people back on the field again.
All right, we're going on to Hibernal, so if you guys want to talk about that before the match starts.
Oh my
It's
God,
the standard
I'm choking
strat
on a pretzel.
of,
Someone help me!
especially if you're team 2, you keep 11 people in the lobby, so sometimes off of what 8 people you have in the lobby, the enemy team can kind of like start telling have an idea of what you're going to do. So quite a few teams just bring their entire team into the lobby to not let the enemy have any idea.
All right, so we're on to Team 2 on Hibernal Rift is going to be 5JDX. I'm betting they're going to do a receive. Probably going to see some of these more standard trade type positions taken, and then see how things go from there. One of the things that's emerged that people might not be aware of yet, there's a high ground trade position that a Night Gear can get into relatively quickly, and I believe it is over behind the cap.
It's right there.
Or beside the cap for Sigma. And so if there's an Epsilon push that comes out of the Team 1 side, which is an older strategy that teams used to make use of, that might be over now with this new trade location. But it used to be that there would be an Epsilon push, and you kind of just send a couple mechs to go kill the volcano mech, and then push the other mechs off the ridge with the rest of your force. With that new back execution or Night Gear location with a Hag ER large type build or something of that nature, this Epsilon push is basically just straight suicide in my opinion. So I don't expect to see an Epsilon push anymore. But we have a lock
Pull it
on
off
Team
is
2,
near
so
impossible. Yeah.
I
we will be switching over to that.
I would expect GNX to play like Kappa-sided trade and 5GDX to then, knowing that, pretty quickly take spine. So take control of this area here on the map strat.
Okay, so we're kicking off the match here, Hibernal Rift. And this is 2 wins on this side of the 5th Jaguar Dragoons. They can win the match outright here as it is best of 5. So we'll see if GNX can turn the tide, pick up a win, force another match or another drop.
I'd absolutely like to see that.
Yeah, keep things, provide a little bit more entertainment here. It's been very close drops so far, so they definitely have the potential.
I'm gonna start taking a look at some of the GNX mechs. We got Jameson and Mistlinks, 4 machine guns, 5 small pulse. We got a hero, Phoenix Hawk, 7 small pulse. Very knife fighty. Lionel, Firestarter, 8 small pulse. Arthan and Arctic Wolf, Esser and Bomber. And then for the biggies, we got Executioner, Peeps, and a variety of small lasers. Crusader, heavy Peeps again. Then Mad Cat is Gauss and ER Large, the classic Mad Cat. What we got on the other
so
side?
we're seeing receive over here from 5th Jaguar Dragoons. They brought ER Large on the Blood Asp. They have more mid-range with AC5 ERPPC on the Mad Cat Mark II, so that'd be providing some DPS.
We have a street cleaner in the field.
Yeah, it's 2 Stumbles PPC on that. Now, Brower's maybe getting a little bit caught out here. They're retreating. Should be an easy retreat here. They have some cover from that Summoner, Pop-Tart Summoner coming up behind them. Early fight over Theta, which has so far, Theta has been flipped, although there's some mechs on it right now trying to flip it back.
I will say already, JGX has a firing line across the FC side.
Yeah, they've got their mech set up.
GNX is balled pretty hard. That was quick. That was quick getting that firing line set up by them.
That Mad Cat from Servo already open center torso and side torso.
Yeah, he's getting pelted from every angle.
Brower's coming in on the flank here, playing risky. There's also a bit of a brawl here. Crusader from JP Django's getting dove, legged on that Crusader, going down.
Alright, Bacon Lord is got into the fight. Brower's trying to get out of here alive.
5JDX
Both
is fighting
his
down in
legs
the
are
pit. Their
open.
Overwatch mechs from the volcano cannot see
Brower
that.
lost his leg. Is he going to go
Goes
down?
down.
Yeah.
Bacon Lord's legged here. Vapor Eagle Rival goes down legged. So this is looking. Percentages are low on GNX. This could turn yet.
The GNX's Phoenix Hawk just went down. This Mad Cat is getting
Cat's
dove
leg goes
hard.
down. So that's a lot of the DPS
SRMs.
gone. Without that DPS, I'm thinking, GNX, 2 mechs are down, but they're still rolling forward. Summoner is probably legged by now. Yes, it is. Should be down in an instant here. Probably overheating as well.
The Bloodess in the
Urban
back
Mech
has been shooting into the fight, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah. Urban Mech goes down. Wow. So Firestarters double legged are open here. It is legged now. This is it. GNX has picked up the win. I'm declaring it. Blood Asp has been halved. The heat capacity on that is absolutely atrocious. By now with that mech being halved, there's no way. And this is going the way of 5th Jaguar Dragoons. They pick up a fairly decisive win. I mean, not a lot of health remaining on their remaining 4 mechs, but they do carry the day here.
I will
Very
say,
aggressive push.
Nice to see James survive a match. Good on you, James.
Oh yeah, he's legged in that Mistlings, but
yeah,
he's
alive. But he's alive. That's what matters.
Yeah, 5th Jaguar Dragoons may be playing a little bit too aggressively around the Theta cap, just not accounting for how fast GNX would be up and in on that fight with their main large mechs.
The Crusader and then Brower, them wrapping on that Crusader so fast, they came around both sides of the pillar. He just got clamped, right? No way out of it. Brower almost got out with his life, but they managed to leg him and to finish him off, and those 2 kills fucking created that snowball effect that they just took to a W, man. That was good to see.
It was Brower trying to do a wraparound there during the push coming forward, and that's what led to getting caught there. So just needed to play a little more cautiously, perhaps respect their opponent a little more, as the situation shows that they should have. Very aggressive push though from GNX. Very much liked how they just they did take a lot of damage even on the approach, with the Mad Cat taking significant damage on the approach, but they arrived at the Theta point and they just went right over, no delay.
All right. Okay.
So I will pop the map strats up.
Yeah.
If you guys want to chime in on that.
Deuce, you've been quiet so far. What do you got to say?
Well, just because I fear to kill you all by my accent, Russian accent, Well, Grenade surprised me with this. with this push, but it seems to me that the Dragoons took a slightly unsuitable deck for the modern meta. Because, well, I expect him to take some DPS and red lasers, but, well, it seems to not this time.
Well, the funny thing about it is GNX's assaults, in my opinion, kind of masked that they were pushing. Like the Gaussier large Mad Cat, you don't really... You don't see that thing going anywhere, right? And it might have, I don't know if it was their strategy or it was just kind of a spur in the moment call. It could have just been James saying, screw you guys, get in there. But the Marauder they ran, the Mad Cat, and an Executioner's in every strat at this point.
Yeah, and the Crusader as well.
It really did mask it. Yeah, and the Crusader, it masked that they were going to be rushing like that. So I think that Django thought he was safe. Django probably thought he was safe in that spot.
About to say that I ended up with the Crusader getting caught here, and then both the Veagle and the Phoenix Hawk getting caught here. And I think without those 3 picks, the GNX push completely falls apart, with their Mad Cat dying essentially for free.
Yeah.
But basically, since they let 5JDX think, hey, this is safe, this isn't a push, they essentially traded that Mad Cat for 3 mechs. So even though it did barely anything, it actually got them 3 kills. Even if it got 0 damage to that match, it would have gotten them 3 kills.
If Bacon, what sucks is the instinct when you're playing any team is like, oh, Django's in trouble. Let's go back him up.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I saw. Bacon jumped into the fight. He wasn't a part of the fight at the beginning. He jumped in there to try to save his buddies. Yeah, as a good team leader tries to do, but he didn't get out alive, unfortunately.
It's especially the Crusader fallacy, where the Crusader is kind of your most important mech, and losing that first really sucks. But at the point where like Bacon jumped back, that Crusader was already so far gone. There was no way saving it. So realistically, all you're doing is making the situation even worse. When the correct play is just pull back, get perfect receive positions, play the 7v8, and since you already have a dead Mad Cat, it's a 7v7, and it's doable. But if you send in 2 of your mechs, well, now it's a 5v7, and they're already within like 500 meters. It's not really winnable.
We'll say. I will give it to GNX to capitalize on that pretty well. Once they had that opportunity, they didn't let it go.
They mind gamed them with the Mad Cat, honestly.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here with Crimson Strait's different map, larger, more about cap play. You can't just you can try the Brawl Rush, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Team 1 is the 5th Jaguar Dragoons for this upcoming on Crimson Strait. And we're talking about how we feel that earlier that Team 1 has the advantage here with the ability to scout the saddle.
Yeah.
If there's any movement toward the saddle with light mechs from the Team 2 side.
I'd expect a big wolf pack from GNX here. Just like force Theta essentially. Like even send a Crusader over the saddle, and then because I think anything else that they do, if they give Theta to 5JDX, 5JDX is just gonna be in their comfort zone, play their game, Epsi Gamma Theta, just sit on it, win trades, and they're really good at that. So I think the way GNX has a chance here is to like upset them by, oh, what do you do if we just take Theta with like 6 mechs? What do you do now?
I mean, if you send 6 mechs to Theta, you're going to get back capped at Sigma, Kappa, or Epsilon Gamma. That's
if you react perfectly. That's the thing.
I very much doubt that. Like if you go Team 2, you're going to get scouted. If you go Team 1, Team 2 should have the awareness at this level of play to be aware that they haven't seen any trade mechs or any push mechs. And then after, I don't know, like a minute and a half of not seeing any mechs, you know that they're not in this area of the map. So you know that they must be in this area of the map. A lack of information is information. And these teams should be able to put 1 and 1 together and come out with the answer being 3.
Okay. Let's be real. A lot of us are team leaders here. It's like herding cats, right?
Yes, it is.
So we can't expect that people are going to have their thinking caps on at all times.
Even at the Div B level, though, you have 8 people in your team in the game. 1 or 2 of them should be like, "Hey guys, I haven't seen anyone, and nobody else has said that they have seen anyone." Like, I know that half the people in the team probably don't talk during the match. That's my experience playing on teams. But the reality is, you got a couple of people there with, a light bulb that will turn on and should be keying up their mic and going, "Hey guys," like at this level, these aren't new to comp teams. The 5th Jaguar Dragoons, absolutely, they're going to have multiple people talking, communicating during a match. GNX has had World Championship top placements in the past. I think they had a 3rd place finish 2 years ago or something like that. They've been in the World Championship series like 4 times in a row or something. Like, yes, the players have changed. There's been a lot of team movement in terms of which players are on the team, but somebody on the team is going to key up that mic and tell the team lead that, by the way, I have not seen anyone, and the match timer says 2 minutes have passed. Like, these aren't Div C, Div D, Div E teams. These are both legitimate Division A competitive teams.
Both Therax.
Yeah,
You'd be
gonna
blown
keep,
away at the mistakes they make.
Yeah,
You'd
my
be
sweet
blown at the
summer child.
mistakes that, every comp team at the highest level makes.
Yeah.
It's hard, but yeah, I would expect them to react quickly. It's just, I think if JNX is on team 2 and they set 2 or 3 assault mechs all the way in the back, I just don't see a way they can get back up quickly.
All right, team 2 has locked, so we are going to
Right.
get ready to head into the match.
Yep. Both teams taking the full 480 tons as expected.
Oh, expert panel, the Discord stream, is that doing okay?
It's doing great.
Okay.
I saw your unit message.
Well, you could change the FPS to 30, I think, and it will be better.
I can do that real quick. 1 moment. There we go. All right.
All right, I'm waiting for the arrival of the drop ships here carrying the mechs, see what the teams bring.
Oh, wait, I'm flying out to it.
So it's currently two drops to 1 in the favor of 5th
Oh, no.
Jaguar Dragoons. GNX just coming off of a drop win.
I almost got it. Okay, 5 JGX, Jiffy, Madcat 1, Cougar, Firestarter, Monk, Direwolf, Grolsch, Bloodass RA, Brower, Shadowcat, Bacon Lord, Vigal Rival, Dario in the Flea, and Django in the Hatchetman.
All right, I'm looking over here at Ghosts of Nox. They are bringing an Annihilator with ER Large, Light Gauss, and ER PPC. That is a big alpha build. Crusader with heavy PPC, small laser. Madcat is going to be Gauss ER Large, Quad ER Large, so that is a dedicated range trade. Orion is a push mech, Orion 2CA with LDX-20 SRM 6 with Artemis. Interesting they didn't go with a skull there for the
5
mask.
JGX is just chock full of Gauss and ER Larges on this one.
Yeah, Kit Fox with SRMs again here. Black Lantern, Red Laser. Kit Fox is going to be a little bit hard pressed to make that rotation from Theta if that comes into play. A little bit of a slower light mech. Locked engine there on the Omni-Mech. Piranha. We have a Piranha in competitive play. Very fast, backstabby mech.
We did just have a
generally,
street cleaner.
Yeah, it's a terror and quick play. You don't really see it in competitive very often, but interesting to see.
All right, looks like
So we have an island play.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. GNX also has a bunch of mechs on the right. They're I think that's their wolf pack over there by the underpass.
So this Orion is on the island. That is a brawl build, the only brawl build brought out of Ghosts of Nox in their heavies and assaults. I don't know particularly what that is for. We have a play around Gamma as well with the light mechs. They're going to be coming in on the flank. It looks like there's going to be a push here from Ghosts of Nox. Both teams pushing island. And we'll see how this plays out.
GNX is definitely hoping to catch the brunt of this with their mechs on island and why these lights go in. But the lights... Actually, I take
lights
that back.
Are going in already.
Yeah, they're going in already and they're eating a lot of damage.
Yeah, they do not have any support from that Annihilator, still stuck in the back. Diving here is a mistake.
Oh no, they did it.
No,
this is 4v8. This is 4v8. Yeah. Oh no.
Well, maybe 6v8, but yeah, there's definitely not even numbers here. There, Ryan's getting shredded to pieces. Damage, well, there's a kill on both sides. A 5th Jaguar Dragoons missing. Two mechs have gone down, but the other thing is that even if GNX manages to win this, okay, the numbers starting to go down, but they would be hard pressed to cap if their survivors were those 2 mechs that weren't in the fight, that Madcat and the Annihilator.
A hero in the Phoenix Hawk doing God's work. He just distracted 3 mechs, buying his team as much time as he could. Arthur and his Kit Fox, though, he's about.
They made it into the back line, but they didn't manage to pick up any kills on the backline mechs. So now we've got the secondary push arriving here. It's 3 mechs standing against the remains of 5th Jaguar Dragoons, and 5th Jaguar Dragoons did not take that much damage. So if this goes down to trades here, there's a light that could slip out and go grab the caps. Well, maybe the lights are dead. But
Mango's gonna get caught out over
there's that flea. Mangoba's peeking out here, trying to trade with that Vapor Eagle. Vapor Eagle is open center torso, but this Annihilator 59%, Crusader 50%. That was a very interesting push and
they just needed
very
to take
low
a pause
odds
for the
play.
cause. That was a very strong push, but those lights just hid behind the buildings just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just
There's no way for the Annihilator to get into that push. It's way too slow, and then this giant
It could
blockage
have been
frame
an
here.
executioner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have fixed almost everything.
I mean,
I think there was no deck
decisions
issue
made
here.
there.
As
Yeah.
GNX had the win, they threw it away. They should have simply sat in Delta 4 and take Gamma with 1 mech. And then they have a 3-2-1 cap and 5JX is all balled up. If 5JX decides to go anywhere, they just farm them with their assaults and push them then. You don't have to push them where they want you to.
I'm wondering if maybe they didn't have a map strat planned out for that map or something, just the way that it looked there.
No, that seemed too coordinated.
Maybe if
that
like they qualified through quick play through the comp queue where they only ever have to play 3 maps. Maybe they've never played Crimson Straight competitively in the last while.
Now, one of them would have to confirm this, but I've seen a strategy like this before, and what do you guys in chat, if you would, I believe their strat was the bigs go here, hit stack while the lights got in position, and then push the enemy team here, right? This was going to be a classic two-pronged push, because I guarantee these guys were just sitting here for the Annihilator, and the idea was the Annihilator gave Overwatch when the push happened, and then these guys, come in. I believe that's what the plan was, but as we saw, Annihilator and another assault, I think the Annie was here, the other assault was here, completely out of the fight. Crusader and Orion were here, and then the Light Rush came in. The Light Rush started getting eaten alive alone. Orion joined the push, and then it was a full commit by these 6 mechs into this area. Now, to be fair, they did get a few kills on 5JGX in this area, more than I would have expected with how that looked like it was falling apart right away. But they did their lights. GNX's lights did do good. That Phoenix Hawks managed to get 3 of 5JDX's mechs actually tangled for almost 20 seconds over here. It's just if it was a more coordinated push, I believe, as Ghost said, GNX beat themselves on this one. But I'll leave it to the experts to continue.
I wanted to ask all the time before the fight, call this be happy in a counter fight on the island. When will both teams just scale up and just run across the island to attack? And this won't happen. To be honest, I have always been amazing by the courage of people who make pushes but do not take DPS with them. Like, come on, guys, it's 2023. We have all the cool guns, attack it and use it. Playing as Envins, we had the same battles against European mech enjoyers, and they always took the maximum numbers of hacks and other cool stuff. And they just come to the this position. 1 second. Come to Epsilon, and don't give us a chance to come on the water. So we needed to shoot from behind the building, and it was really hard to counter push in this situation. But this I see that GNX takes a lot of long range, and maybe this is the problem. I don't know. Maybe with the hacks and another big DPS weapons, it could be a different match.
I think another thing is they moved all the way up to the end of the ramp at the north side of E5. And at that point, they had all the benefits of moving 3 grids through cover, and they didn't keep those benefits. They just went, all right, we ran half the map, taking no damage. Let's cross into water at one of the furthest points. You know, they could have crossed all the way up near the D3 logo and had 5JDX's attention split if they were going to follow through with the push. You know, like Ghosty was saying, they could have taken Gamma. They could have taken Gamma and sent one person to Theta and then just ran like the wind if they wanted to. But there was a lot of issues there. It looked like something we tried in scrims, but this is, you know, was a less pretty version of that.
I think beat us within scrims or within scrims. So yeah. Yeah,
they just it's your lights cannot stop for 1 second.
Yeah, it's the other thing is 5JX is this super weird thing that I still don't understand, and I'm not sure if it's like an intentional, you know, weird strat to not give away anything for teams facing them further into the bracket, especially since they're already 2 maps up. They can feel pretty comfortable maybe that they'd win polar, so throw like a weird strat in there. And yeah, getting stuck in that green area. I think GNX just had this call of, oh, they're close to island, we have to start pushing them, and then 5JX stayed back and their assaults were out of the fight. But realistically, it's like this distance here between Gamma and
meters.
The island is so short that...
Oh, that's what you're thinking. I thought you meant
that green
circle spot is only 650 meters to the furthest point. Yeah. Like, that's not far enough to stop a brawl push unless the enemy team does what GNX did and went in 4x4.
But even from Gamma, say you have your lights, like GNX, just stick your lights here. Take Gamma with one of them. And then you have your assaults here. You have your Orion and your Crusader. Like, if 5JDX push over here, you just pull in your lights back, and you have almost a perfect receive, especially because you have better mechs to push and to brawl with. And what else would they do? Send their lights to Gamma? All right, just go take the fight, or, you know, run away. You have a cap lead still. There's just so many things that, like, this position is... I would give GNX in that position like 80% win chance. But they didn't take advantage of it. They just went, okay, you clumped up out in the open to like try and receive a push that comes right for you here, so let's go and push you right here.
Yeah, 5JDX was able to, if you saw where the Phoenix Hawk died, they backed their final 3 mechs all the way to Epsilon and really, you know... I mean, GNX had the jump on them. They didn't take it. It's really...
I think the thing what that happened is, like, GNX saw 5JDX mechs like up around island here, and they basically called, oh, they're getting aggressive. They're pushing, and their lights went in, and then 5JDX saw the lights going in, and just went, okay, let's not push. Let's just go kill these lights first. And so it ended up like with GNX's big mechs just not in the fight at all.
Yeah, in my opinion, there was a mistake on both sides. GNX chose the bad timing for the lights and did not support them, and the Dragoons came too close